I have a confession to make. Back in 2020, I pre-ordered Cyberpunk 2077. I know people have a lot of different ideas about pre-orders, and Cyberpunk definitely didn't release in a good state. Do I feel like I was part of the problem? No, I pre-ordered it like 2 days before it came out. There's a lot to say about the bugs that existed. Soft locks, immersion breaks, clothes not loading, but those can be patched out. It's the cut content that really bothers me. But people are focusing on the wrong cut content. Do you know someone made a mod to make the train rideable? I guess that's neat, but it seems like that's the main thing I hear brought up. I don't care about public transportation, I care about Ozop, the Brazilian murder clown. Let's talk about the abandoned side quests. In the late game, you get a text from Ozob Bozo, a merc you've never heard of before. He needs your help with the gig. You go to meet him and, surprise, he's a clown with a grenade for a nose, and you have a nice little convo on the way there. You learn he's from Brazil, you learn what happened to his nose, and afterwards he thanks you and goes on his way. And that's it. There's no more to him. No missions, no texts, nothing. You get a similar text from an unknown number. You meet at a hotel, and it's Lizzie Wizzy. She's a huge pop star. There's posters of her throughout the game. It's okay if you don't recognize her, V does. She sends you to spy on her boyfriend/manager. It's a real interesting mission. Her boyfriend wants to secretly create a copy of her through an engram, and he even tries asking if they can change her personality to be more pleasant. I know, real piece of work. You send Lizzie the recording and then the mission ends. You do get a second mission where you see her have some kind of augment-based personality defect, and then you dispose of her boyfriend's body, 5 feet away from the door. And that's it. You get a vague text later on, but there's really no more to her. Blue Moon is a member of Us Cracks. You meet them pretty far into the Carrie storyline. She gives you a call and tells you she needs a merc's help with death threats. You meet her in Kabuki and follow her from a distance, trying to suss out who the stalker is and stop them. There's no other mission like this one. And then, once you're done, your time with Us Cracks is over. There's no more interaction with any of them. If you go to the right area, you'll find the Flaming Crotch Man. He has a certain implant that starts malfunctioning. You need to get him to a Ripper Dock, and try not to bump into anything. He's in enough pain. He tells you that he'll give you a call later, and then he does. He pays you, and then that's that. There's no more to him. If it seems like these are ending abruptly, now you know how I feel. You probably remember Sandra Dorset from the beginning of the game. There's a data chip that belongs to her inside of a scavenger base. You get it while you're on a gig there, or if you're there by coincidence. She calls to ask for it back, and also asks you not to look at it. You have full conversations with her about Jackie, about the anxiety she feels after her original abduction. The mission can end a few different ways depending on if you read the chip or not. Admittedly, this is the most complete feeling storyline out of all the ones I'm going to talk about in this video. Okay, last one I'm going to talk about. During the main missions, you get Johnny's jacket, his gun, and his shirt. You get items of his after missions that have you bonding with him. But what about his pants and shoes? They can be found in obscure gigs with no real plot reason for them to be there. Do I sound weird? I feel like I'm the weirdo for caring about these 50-year-old pants and shoes. But it's an achievement. CD Projekt Red is the one saying that this should feel like it's an accomplishment, that we should feel like it's important that we collected all its items. Look, I'm not saying that every little thing has to be a whole thing. I get that some details can be smaller because it makes the world feel more real. But these all have unique character models, interesting personalities, and cool missions. These don't make the world feel bigger, they just feel incomplete. And this isn't about the amount of missions. The Perales storyline only has 2, but it feels like we reached the natural conclusion. It makes sense that we only had these 2 interactions with them. And that's why this is what bothers me most about the launch problems. Glitches can be patched. Hell, the train mod shows that this can be patched later on, but adding more to storylines takes more resources. You have to do the writing, create new missions, get more voice acting in every language. There's so much to them that it can't be done so easily. We might get more to these storylines in the future in larger content updates, but right now, 18 months after release, it still feels like they were cut short. Anyway, that's everything. Are there any storylines you want more of? I know I didn't even talk about Meredith Stout. Let me know, and thanks for watching.